Hey guys, today on People Now, Selena Gomez out of treatment hitting the slopes. We'll tell you what People has exclusively learned.
Family, friends, and fans say goodbye to Hollywood trailblazer Penny Marshall.
Also today, the truth about Meghan and Kate's complex royal relationship in this week's People cover story.
Find out how Chip and Joanna Gaines are prepping for their first family Christmas with new baby crew.
She makes everything look very easy.
Sarah Paulson gushes to us all about her Bird Box co-star Sandra Bullock.
And Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly have us cracking up in a People Now Confess Sesh.
Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to People Now.
Hello.
How are we doing? 6 days to Christmas.
That's crazy.
It's kind of
I know
mind-blowing,
I keep saying
right?
that, but it is really crazy. I have so many presents to buy yet. I'm really behind.
It's going to be a busy weekend, busy few days coming up.
Yeah, I only
here.
have like 2 days before I leave for Wisconsin, so I got to get on those presents.
Woo, I'm leaving tomorrow. So we've got things to do.
I know, but lots to get to.
Anyway, there's a lot to get to. We're actually starting with some positive news, some happy news ahead of the holidays. A source has confirmed to People that Selena Gomez is back home after checking into a treatment center more than 2 months ago. The source adds that Selena is looking to get back to a sense of normalcy. She's been spending some time with family and friends.
This makes me really happy that she's doing well. She's already been spotted out and about, looking happy and healthy. The 26-year-old's friends posted a series of photos to Instagram on Tuesday. Look at this. Looks like a fun, snow-filled outing there.
Yeah, Connor Franklin and Bailey Madison posted a series of pictures with all of them having a blast. Look at this.
Yeah.
Can I please go tubing
I
with
know.
you guys next time? She's having a great time there. It comes after she checked into that treatment facility in October for suffering a panic attack while she was in the hospital for another visit.
Well, she's been going through a lot. So she was hospitalized twice that month because of a low white blood cell count, which is a side effect of kidney transplant patients. You might remember Selena received a kidney from her best friend, Francia Reza. Now, the transplant was in part to Selena's diagnosis with lupus, which she underwent chemotherapy for in 2015.
And she's been through so much in this whole process, and she's been very open with her social media followers about those health struggles in the past. A little before that recent hospitalization, she decided to take a break from social media. She made an announcement. She posted about it. Part of that post said, as much as I'm grateful for the voice that social media gives each of us, she said that she's equally grateful to kind of take a step back and be present in her life as it's going. And she also alluded to sort of negative comments and how she said negative comments can hurt anybody's feelings. So she's obviously some of that taking a toll on her.
Well, as we know, obviously on social media, there's always trolls and really mean people, and I think that was starting to get to her. And taking a step back, hopefully was able to kind of give her some clarity, like, okay, you know, when you're in it, it affects you a lot. Hopefully she was able to like, step back, now kind of recover from everything she's going through physically and mentally. So I don't know, I'm happy to see her out and about, looking happy, a fun tubing day.
Yeah, enjoy the holidays. My goodness,
I know.
having a great time. All right, we'll be keeping track with her. Now, this week's People cover story reveals the complicated relationship between royal sisters-in-law Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle. And while rumors of a rift have dominated the headlines in recent weeks, People can confirm that tension between the two duchesses boiled over on at least one occasion. A family friend reveals to People that Meghan and Kate clashed in the days ahead of Meghan's wedding to Prince Harry in May. They said, quote, there was an argument between Meghan and Kate over the fit of Princess Charlotte's dress. A different insider adds there were very few fittings for the bridesmaids. Everything was left to the last minute. It was really stressful for everyone involved. That's what that source says. Now, Kate was reportedly left in tears over that incident, though exactly what upset her is unclear. We haven't gotten all those details, but that wasn't the only wedding-related controversy. Queen Elizabeth turned down Meghan's first choice of tiara, and according to royal biographer Robert Jobson, that incident led to Prince Harry shouting at the staff, and that was a famous line we heard, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. That was widely reported. Remember this, though, on December 1st, Kensington Palace took the rare step of denying a report that Kate warned Meghan not to scold staff members. We'll have more from this week's cover story later in the show, including why Harry and Meghan's move out of Kensington Palace may be the solution to ease all the royal drama. Stick around for that. Do you hear that?
Yes, I do.
Did you see it and hear it? Well, that is, as you may have noticed, a bottle pop. It's the sound of Prosecco taking over champagne as the best-selling sparkling wine in the world by volume. Now, that's according to a new report from the Associated Press. The production of Prosecco is a whopping 75% higher than champagne, with an annual production of 544 million bottles. Compare that to 307 million bottles of champagne. Look, that's a lot of bubbly,
yes,
no matter what.
is.
The AP attributes Prosecco's success to its lower price point and the fact that it's, quote, an anytime libation. You ready for some of this?
What?
I got some facts for you.
Yes.
The lower price may be because it's easier to make. Champagne is made in a designated region of France. They have to do things like ferment it certain ways. The bottles have to be kept at a certain angle. They have to be rotated by hand. There's a lot more manual labor, higher cost. tougher to get it to stores more quickly. Prosecco, made in Italy, made in large tanks. It can get to stores faster. Now you know, guys.
Who knew, Jeremy?
Who knew?
You knew all this,
That's
right?
why it's happening.
Well, I think a lot of people didn't even know there's a difference between champagne or Prosecco. I don't. Maybe I'm speaking for everyone out there, but maybe it's just me that didn't know.
No,
that.
I didn't either.
I thought Prosecco was maybe a type of champagne.
Me too.
Now I'm glad that I have all this knowledge now.
And not only that, you know how they're made.
Yeah,
and
I don't know if I
differences.
could. I don't think I would be able to taste the difference. Now I want to do a testing with, Prosecco and champagne and see if I can actually taste the difference.
It's actually just a duty that we should do for the story.
I think, yeah.
To see if there's
I'm surprised we don't have any right now.
noticeable
actually.
difference.
You guys
you're getting. If you feel like you've been popping bottles more than usual as the holidays have rolled around, you are not alone. Sparkling wine sales reportedly go up 20% around the Christmas
Not surprising,
season.
yeah.
All right, you got
and
more for us.
What is a story about the best-selling sparkling wine without a bubbly little poll? We want to know, which do you prefer? If you know the difference, are you on the Prosecco train? Are you still spending your cash on the classic champagne?
Is this news to you as
I
well?
don't know. Let us
Maybe.
know. Vote in our People poll for your favorite, or just tweet us your answer with the hashtag #PeopleNow.
We're going to check in on those results a little bit later, but now let's move on to this. As 2018 comes to a close, there are many celeb moments to highlight throughout the year. We had the breakups, the makeups, babies, and more.
Yeah.
But the one thing that has our attention today, who are the richest celebrities of 2018? This is an impressive
I know.
list.
So Forbes just dropped the list of this year's wealthiest celebs, with George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, Oprah Winfrey, and Michael Jordan all climbing the ranks. We won't make you wait till the end. The top of the list, coming in at a smooth $5.4 billion, is the richest celebrity of 2018. It's George Lucas.
Wow, so the Star Wars creator helped boost himself to the top by selling production company Lucasfilm to Disney, earned himself $4.1 billion for that deal alone.
It's just mind-blowing. It's so much money. But speaking of film geniuses, coming in hot at number 2 is Steven Spielberg, worth $3.7 billion. So his hit film Ready Player One and acquisition of his DreamWorks animation definitely helps with that.
Got a lot going on. Oprah Winfrey, worth $2.8 billion. The TV show host slash businesswoman increased her fortune by teaming up with none other than Weight Watchers.
Loves
Remember
bread.
this. She loves
we
bread.
know that. Now, Michael Jordan is balling on and off the court, or at least he was. The ex-ball player is worth $1.7 billion. His wealth comes from his 90% stake in the Hornets basketball team and shoe line.
The shoes will do it. Now, King Kylie, we call her King Kylie.
Yeah, people say King Kylie.
And Jay-Z, they're coming in at number 5 for $900 million tie. The 21-year-old Kar-Jenner is new to the Forbes list, made her fortune through her cosmetics line. Lots of headlines about that earlier this year. Jay-Z's champagne and cognac companies helped add $90 million to his wealth in 2017.
It's crazy to me that Kylie makes the most of that family. I guess it's with her lip kits. You would think maybe Kendall, with all the runway she does and being like the highest paid model.
She found the right product line, right? Like the right avenue to really
cash in. She makes more
cash
than
in.
the rest of her family, which is so crazy
It's incredible.
to me. But I mean, good for her. It's a lot of money. All right, Magic Millions. David Copperfield earns his $875 million fortune from his Vegas residency.
That one blows me away the most. Of all famous people in all of show business.
But he's one of the most known magicians.
Yeah, and doing those Vegas residencies, obviously very lucrative.
Yeah.
The 8th richest celeb at $825 million sounds like music to my ears because it's Diddy. The rapper slash businessman can credit his music, TV show, clothing line, and alcohol company. All of that attribute to his wealth.
Now next, Tiger Woods, still climbing the ranks. The golfer won his first major victory in 5 years in September. He ties at a cool $800 million with author James Patterson.
James Patterson.
I know, that one's a little shocking, but that's great.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, honestly, that amount of money, it's hard to, you can't even conceptualize.
You know, we were close
life.
when we almost won the Powerball. You know, when we bought those tickets.
We had our
like
moments.
almost knew what it felt like to be that rich, but
We'd already kind of written our little article submission for the Forbes top list. Anyway, we'll dream a little dream next year.
Yeah.
Andrea, I don't know. You have more for us in Star Treks.
I do. We are kicking off Star Treks with one Waco baby's very first Christmas. This is super adorable. In this week's issue of People, we're taking a closer look at why this holiday season is extra special for Chip and Joanna Gaines. It is Baby Crew's first Christmas, and while the fixer-upper stars are thrilled to make new memories with their newest arrival, some things did have to change this year. So they were able to put up their show-stopping 13-foot-tall Christmas tree in its traditional place, the dining room. But as Joanna said on Instagram, it was a bit of a tight squeeze there. And they needed to find a totally new spot for their second, smaller tree, which they call the family tree. Now, it used to be in the den, but that room is now Crew's nursery. So the only place left, the master bedroom. Sounds a little weird to put a big tree in a bedroom. I don't know. But the Mama 5 says once it was there, she realized it played out just the way it was supposed to. I think it looks really cute there.
It looks great.
Yeah, I mean, they also have like a pretty big bedroom. So.
That's not a cramped bedroom. Got a
It's
fireplace.
like a whole other house. So the reason why it's called the family tree, it's filled with special ornaments with either photos of the kids or crafts that they make each year. I think that's really cute. And she says that they ooh and ah over the ornaments every year. You do something like this, Jeremy,
well,
right?
I'm super nostalgic about the ornaments, and I've said this before. My parents do this. They have the old traditional tree that we grew up with, this fake tree, with the same ornaments as when I was a kid, and then they have the newer modern version that they put up every year. I like that.
Yeah, Joanna says that even though the photos have faded, some of the crafts have cracked, she actually loves them more with their little weather.
Well, it's like the first Christmas and like first grade or kindergarten, little pictures in them and
really
stuff.
sentimental. No, it's cute. This year, crew gets to start adding its own touch to the tree, so they do like the clay handprints there.
We did this.
Little baby hands.
The girls,
you did do this.
Yeah, it's a really good idea, and it kind of it's literally like cements in like.
I love a little baby hand. I mean, he was born in June, super young. And Joanna says that crew has kind of given them all the fresh eyes to see the wonder in their yearly traditions. And the first time he saw a Christmas tree, he was really fascinated. His eyes were glued to the twinkle lights. He's a cute little baby.
So adorable. They're gonna have a lot of fun.
All right, you guys, now watch this.
This is your magic trick. Check this out. Watch it.
That's amazing. So that was Michelle Obama and Jimmy Fallon surprising delighted people on a tour of 30 Rock in a skit that aired on The Tonight Show on Tuesday. The former First Lady and late night host even did a gag where they jumped rope, did some magic, played piano, other stunts as elevator doors opened to stun tourists. Can you imagine being on the elevator and
It's like when you show up to a Survivor viewing party. It's
okay, Jeremy. I'm not Michelle Obama or Jimmy Fallon level. The late night host did pull this before with Paul McCartney. Always looks like a lot of fun. Now, Mrs. Obama is currently on tour promoting her best-selling autobiography, Becoming. Now, in addition to the skit, she also sat down with Jimmy and got candid about her feelings on Trump's inauguration day in 2016. Jimmy asked her what she was thinking when she departed the White House on that day. She blurted out, "Bye, Felicia," which, as you know, is usually a phrase used towards someone you don't like. It's pretty amazing she did that. He also brought up the infamous Tiffany box, which was a picture frame that Melania gifted to Michelle. Now, Michelle clarified previous comments she made about the gift, saying when the new First Lady gave her the box, she had a lot on her mind, partly due to the unexpected gift, also the fact that her daughters, Sasha and Malia, insisted on having one last sleepover with their friends before they moved out of the White House. She said it was all just a lot. So, a lot was made of that whole gift exchange and her having that weird reaction, but, emotions were high. They were leaving the White House. Her daughters wanted to do one last sleepover. She had to clean up their blankets. So she said she had a weird reaction because gifts aren't usually given, and she was a little kind of flustered at the time.
That stuff's very mapped out, right? Like with how, like the appropriate things to do, and it was a little moment. A lot was made of it. Here's the thing that I love. I love that she's just being honest about it. Look, they obviously all don't get along and don't really like each other. They maintain civility, but they can be honest about their.
When you get a gift and you're not expecting it, because it usually doesn't happen, then obviously you're gonna have a weird reaction. She didn't even know what to do with the box. She said that Barack ended up taking it from her, handing it to a staff member, because otherwise she was just standing there.
The other thing was, look, it might have been out of place. That was a nice gesture. Of all things to be mad at.
Of course it was nice.
It was a nice gesture. It might have been out of place, but.
Well, and she wasn't mad about it.
It was a lot of other things that she was like, okay.
But it was more the pictures that people were talking about, and I was trying to clarify that there was a lot going on at that time. Can you imagine moving out of the White House? You're a little. There's a lot going on.
No.
I also really do like the skit that they did with. I like seeing her on her tour, and the book's doing really well, and having fun with Jimmy. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, they do a great job, and that stuff with Fallon in the elevator is priceless.
Yeah.
I could watch that all day. So, all right, guys, stay with us. A lot more coming up. Sandra Bullock and Sarah Paulson reveal the one thing they don't like about Ellen DeGeneres. These two are hilarious. Stick around for that. Plus, speaking of funny, Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly are sitting down for a People Now Confess sesh. You do not want to miss this.
All right, let's check in on our People poll. We've been asking whether you prefer Prosecco or Champagne in honor of Prosecco becoming the best-selling sparkly wine. Now that we know the difference, Jeremy.
We just learned. Oh, tight.
Oh, Prosecco.
I think this is because people don't know the difference, like us.
You think so?
It's almost like it's like an equal toss-up.
I feel like you don't have a lot of faith in our listeners. We just explained the difference.
Listeners and viewers.
Wait, and
They see us too. But Prosecco taking the lead. I think it's because it's cheaper, and as we said, they make it in a barrel, not hand-turned.
Now that you're the expert.
We broke it all down.
All right, keep voting in our People poll.
Let me know if you have any other questions about how
Moving on
things
to
are
this.
fermented.
So Jason Momoa definitely made a splash in Hollywood as Aquaman, but it wasn't always easy for him. So in this week's People, he opens up about surviving career struggles, diving into stardom. He also talks about his wife, Lisa Bonet.
Let's break this down a little bit. His career, it wasn't really handed to him. He's got that story that many actors have, struggling, hard work, and trying to make it work for a very long time before it finally clicked. And he says that, look, he was broke. He could barely put food on the table. It was a tough time for him.
Yeah, and Aquaman definitely came as a surprise. So he said that when he heard Aquaman, he was thinking blonde, shaven, orange spandex.
Not exactly his look.
Kind of the opposite of what he looks like.
Yeah, turns out they wanted to reimagine the whole character, which worked to his advantage. He even opened up about that. They took his forearm tattoo, kind of put it all over his body.
Yeah.
They wanted his hair to be big. So it really, he was able to embody it. Not only that, though, but the way the character, some of the character talking points and story points, Jason was raised primarily in Iowa by a single mom. He dealt with bullying, some of the things we see with Aquaman.
Yeah, now we all remember Jason. Obviously, it's the ruthless and stoic warrior Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones. Now, although this gave him a taste of fame, he says it was not the career push he had hoped for. Here's what he said. He says, what do you do with Drogo? You don't put him in a comedy. You're not hiring him to play your best friend. I thought this was interesting because obviously it's this massive character on a massive TV show. Saying that it didn't help him is kind of surprising.
So many actors have that double-edged sword of embodying a really well-known character so well that it's hard for at least casting directors to see them as anything else. But so for him, you can see how that could happen. He has such a distinct look. But let's just be clear: if it were for Game of Thrones, I don't think he'd be Aquaman right now.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's obviously
everyone
all
sees
those
Jason
stepping
Momoa
stones.
and you see Khal Drogo, but
Right.
now hopefully you can see him as Aquaman and then as other things. I want to see him, play some sort of like romantic comedy kind of thing. That could be kind of cute after Aquaman.
Like a dramatic change, like his hair, and maybe like if he goes super short.
I don't know if he should cut the hair off though. That's the only thing. But okay,
Secret
Jason
power.
tells people the one thing he could always rely on through the good and the bad times, through everything he went through, struggles with his career, was his wife, Lisa Bonet. He says she's amazing. Her ultimate art form is being a phenomenal mother.
Yeah, so Lisa dedicated the last decade or so of her life as being the stay-at-home mother, as they put it, while he would go out and pay for their life. And, he and Lisa, they started dating. They've got this great love story back in 2005. They got married in 2017. And we've talked a lot about this.
Yeah.
Jason claims that he loved her since he was 8 years old and saw her on The Cosby Show.
Somehow he knew at 8 that he
lifelong
wanted
trajectory.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
Now Jason, obviously a big superhero. It's changing his life. He recently was at the airport and said it actually got a little scary because everyone in the customs line, they looked at him because they recognized him. And he's now noticing that shift. He's cool with it, but also says he wants to protect his family time however he can. I understand that could get a little tricky because he can't go anywhere now.
Well, no, and this guy is not the kind of guy that blends in, right? Look
No,
at him.
no.
In any room, he stands out. And now that he's this famous, it's going to be an adjustment for sure. And guys, by the way, you can check out Aquaman. It is in theaters December 21st, just coming up.
All right, Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton are proving that there is no such thing as the perfect family. Of course, they made headlines after reports of some minor disagreements and apparent rifts. And this week's People, Royal Insider says the family drama between William and Harry's wives was actually bound to happen.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about this earlier. So the source says that the wives, look, they changed the dynamic. You've got an established family, you've got the brothers, you bring in these two very independent-minded, strong women from the real world, you bring them into the royal world. We talked a lot about the transition of that and all the requirements and the different lifestyle changes. That's going to have an impact on the relationships.
Yeah, and, they have a complex relationship. It's going to get even more complex as their families grow. Meghan and Harry expecting first child in April. Obviously, that's stressful with a new baby coming. And then William and Kate had Prince Louis last April. So it makes sense that things would be complex between the families.
There were headlines about them moving out of Kensington Palace and that there was tension that was causing it, and maybe that added to it. I think the move's going to be great. They need their space. And
Does anyone want to live with their extended family?
No, well, I was going to say this to you earlier. Like when it comes to kids, especially, and that reported rift during that Charlotte's fitting for the wedding, nothing sparks up tension in parents like kids, right? And if you feel like someone's saying something to your kid or something like that, I think it's good that they have their own space.
Also, it's one of those things, like, I realized how much I loved my mom when I moved away to college. So it's one of those things where, like, oh, wait, if they move away, then they probably will appreciate each other more because they're not going to always be in each other's business.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing, for sure. And a family friend also added, saying the move will be the best thing for all of them. Like Meghan and Kate, Harry and William have totally different roles, but the brothers will always come together because they are Diana's sons.
End of the day, they're brothers. They do have distinctly different paths. William's obviously more directly in line for the throne. Harry has to establish his own. This is part of that. And Imogen Lloyd Webber, who's always here, our royal correspondent, always tells us Harry needs to establish his own path, and he's doing that.
Yeah.
Clearly. So good for them. Should we move on to this?
Let's move on to
You
this.
ready for some A-listers? Sandra Bullock and Sarah Paulson. They play sisters in Netflix's new apocalyptic thriller. It's called Bird Box. Basically, the plot: people who will witness their kind of worst fears if they take off their blindfolds. Some of those fears could drive people over the edge. It's complex. It can be dark.
Yeah, it sounds very, very dark. Now, one of the things Sandra and Sarah love the most in the movie is actually more subtle. They said that because it embraces non-traditional ideas of family and
Right.
what that really means.
We know Sandra Bullock, of course, has the adopted children, Louis, 8 years old, and Lila, 6 years old. So she's got her own family unit that she's established.
Yeah, now she explained to people how she relates to the story on a deeply personal level.
We're really lucky that we get to live in this very moment in time that we get to choose what our family looks like. And I got to do that in real life. What I loved about this is that it sort of mirrored what I feel about real life in that my family is not how most people thought it would look, but it's better.
So I'm not a mother in the traditional sense, but there are plenty of people in my life that I mother at times as I am
maternal.
mothered.
But it's about someone who's willing to show up
Yeah.
and stay, no matter what it looks like.
Not when it's only pretty.
Yeah.
Right, so these guys first co-starred together in Ocean's 8, and to say that they hit it off would be an understatement as we've seen them together.
They love each other. You can see their bond in their movies, but off camera, it's even stronger. So just listen to Sarah gushing about Sandra's best qualities here.
She makes everything look very easy. She's an incredible mother, she's an incredible girlfriend, she's a wonderful producer, she takes care of every single actor on the set, she takes care of every member of the crew, she's genuinely interested, and I short circuit at a certain point, and I think I forget to say thank you to someone who hands me my lunch, because I'm sometimes too self-focused, which is, AKA narcissistic. Okay. It was an incredible thing to see somebody at the top of their game who has been at the top of their game for a long time and who is always leading with a kind of kindness and awareness of other... It's too long. Okay.
I love that she was gushing about her right there. That's so funny.
Sandra's just like, okay, okay. There's one thing that Sandra and Sarah don't love, and it's kind of ironic given the entire plot of their new movie. Take a look at this.
I don't like to be scared. I hate being scared. I hate people who think it's funny to stand behind doors and scare you because they know that you hate being scared.
Like Ellen DeGeneres.
Horrible
she does that.
human being.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep going on her show. She's a horrible human being for that. No, she knows not to do it with me.
She does, but she
does it
doesn't
to you.
to me a lot.
Really? Is somebody going to come out of there? No. That has happened.
Because you're funny when you're scared.
See?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hospitalized, Incorporated.
Some sad news. You guys may have heard this. Laverne and Shirley star and film director Penny Marshall died Monday night at her Hollywood Hills home. She died from complications from diabetes. She was 75 years old.
Yeah, a lot of people reacting to this. Celebrities and fans are mourning her. Marshall's former husband, director Rob Reiner, tweeted in part, quote, "She was born with a funny bone and the instinct of how to use it. I was very lucky to have lived with her and her funny bone. I will miss her."
That's really sweet tribute there. Now, Tom Hanks, who collaborated with Marshall on movies like Big and A League of Their Own, tweeted this, saying, "Goodbye, Penny. Man, did we laugh a lot. Wish we still could. Love you, Hanks."
So they were really close and did a lot of movies together. And Cindy Williams, Marshall's Laverne and Shirley co-star, released a statement saying this, quote, "Penny was a girl from the Bronx who came out west, put a cursive L on her sweater, and transformed herself into a Hollywood success story." The statement goes on to say, "We hope her life continues to inspire others to spend time with family, work hard, make all of their dreams come true."
I mean, she really was a trailblazer. Now, they starred on the hit sitcom Laverne and Shirley from 1976 to 1983. There was a little bit of a rift there. Williams, she left the show, wasn't clear why, some miscommunication there. Cindy was pregnant, and it seemed like people thought that they were like pitting them against each other. But it turns out it was just a big miscommunication.
They ended up coming back around. They reconciled and obviously smoothed things over. And Williams actually told Entertainment Tonight this. She said, "Laverne and Shirley was a show about happiness, and in the end, that was everyone's goal." And they added, "I go to Penny's house, I get in bed with her, we watch TV, she's like my sister," obviously very close.
Yeah.
And Laverne and Shirley, I mean, that took them to a level of sort of household name status that catapulted the rest of their careers.
I love that quote because as we remember her, her too, like knowing that their bond was like sisters is really special. Now, of course, Big became the first movie in Hollywood history to be directed by a woman and gross more than $100 million. I know you are a big fan of Big.
Big was my favorite movie growing up. It truly was. Like, I've always had this, in my mind, a very special connection with her and Tom Hanks because of that movie. I loved it so much, and I think there are so many people who you define their childhood and different phases of life by the movies that she made. League of Their Own surpassed 100 million again. So she was a trailblazer in front of and behind the camera in so many ways.
You know, a lot of people first knew her as an actress, and then she kind of went into directing. And she said this about directing, which I thought was really interesting. She said, for me, it was just something to do. If I failed, I had my excuse. I was an actress, not a director.
There you go.
Which I think is a great approach.
End of the day, guys, I'm supposed to be in front of the camera.
But she turned out to be very successful and very talented in both.
She left a mark. She'll be missed, and we'll continue to obviously see more people expressing their condolences over the next few days.
All right, moving on to this. So, Jeremy, name a more iconic duo than Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. We'll wait.
I can't do it. How about Holmes and Watson?
Okay,
they
there you
come
go.
close. So it only makes sense that Will and John are tackling those characters in their latest movie. We're excited for this one.
Very exciting. Now, they have to solve a murder mystery at Buckingham Palace in 4 days, or the Queen will become the next victim. So this is really high stakes, you guys.
Lots at play here.
As you can probably imagine, hijinks definitely ensue.
So these guys, obviously hilarious. They've worked together before. We decided to put them to the test with a People Now Confess sesh. They did not disappoint. Take a look.
Can you just look in the camera and say happy holidays before I head out so we can use it?
Happy holidays before I head out so I can use it.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. See you in the movies.
See you in the...
We got a present for you on Christmas Day. I hope you show up and
Holmes
open
and
it.
Watson.
What have you done with Sherlock?
Why, Watson?
I never left. Amazing.
I'm going to pull a question out of the big old gray question bowl.
Question Bowl retails for $3.99
Oh.
at Ross, if you're wondering.
Describe your idea of a perfect dude date with each other. Perfect dude date.
Dude date, dude date, dude date.
I call it a man date. A man date with Will would involve sailing on the ocean.
Yes.
A ship. We've had some great
We have some
mandates
great
on boats in the past.
On water, whether it be a boat or an inner tube, we've had some great water experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Name another famous duo you'd want to play in a movie.
Well, I got this one that I've always wanted to do.
Oh, yes. The Wright brothers. I know.
Right?
Totally. It's always a solid idea.
We
just
want
haven't...
to tear Kitty Hawk a new one. Come on, fans, write in and say you want that to happen.
Either that or we do Hope and Crosby making the road pictures.
Oh, like
Hope,
like what their lives were like?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh. Well, that might
Hopefully they're real sunny personalities.
Oh, they hated each other, didn't they? Okay, never mind.
There's only one more and I got it.
Oh, okay.
Haha. Who would win
And you
in
know
a
what
fight?
happens if you don't get the last question? You gotta wear the bowl on your head.
It's an earthen yarmulke. Who would win in a fight? Your Holmes and Watson? Or Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law's Holmes and Watson?
Well, wouldn't we
really?
like to see?
Really? You're gonna ask this question? I'll see you in the ring.
Yeah.
Law.
Why don't you hand me Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law? Here they are. You want to see what's going to happen?
Yeah, I do want to see.
You want to see?
Yeah. Yeah. You just got eaten.
Yeah.
Downey. Law. You got eaten.
And then 3 hours from now, pooped out.
3 hours. That's a quick turnaround.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's a very fast
Gosh, they are
turnaround.
so funny. I could watch like an hour of that interview.
Oh my God, it's so good. No, the movie's going to be really funny.
Yeah.
So they are so good together. They've done it before. I think they've got the perfect
They're so
dynamic.
goofy. All right, guys, if you're not in the holiday spirit yet, you are running out of time. Less than 1 week till Christmas.
Countdown's on. To help you out a little bit, we asked some of our favorite People Now guests to serenade us with a little holiday tune.
Jingle bells, anyone? Jingle bells.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
Oh, the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha.
Bells on bobtail ring. What does that mean?
We'll do a CeeLo. Bells on bobtail ring.
Making spirits bright.
What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight.
Jingle bells,
Jingle all the way.
All the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
Jingle bells. Jingle bells.
Jingle all the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Happy holidays.
Woo! Tony Braxton at the end. Just a little,
I like how they all have their own vibe.
Yeah,
Some of them
love
take
it.
it like very seriously and it's very like soulful.
Yeah,
and
but
then
the-
some are just like.
But, right, just dancing it out. Should we take one last look at our
Yes.
people poll? We've been asking whether you prefer Prosecco or Champagne, because Prosecco, as we know, is now the best-selling sparkling wine.
I know. So let's see. Now that we have all the information, it's close though.
It's so
49% to
close.
51%. Not an overwhelming difference there. Pretty close.
Do I need to say again? I blame the closeness of this on the fact that I don't think most people know the
Oh,
difference.
throwback.
including
Anyway,
us 5 minutes
that's a
ago.
pretty close poll. So
Throwbacks. All right, guys, we're going to do another question of the day tomorrow. So why don't you tune in for that? And coming up tomorrow, we've got even more for you, an exclusive clip from Madam Secretary's big 100th episode. We're very excited for this.
plus, Vanessa Hudgens spills some fast facts about her beloved Netflix movie, The Princess Switch. Gotta tune in for that. Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Nick Cannon. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey, what's up? I'm Nick Cannon. This is One Last Thing. The last song I had stuck in my head was All I Want for Christmas. I think that's stuck in everyone's head. But it's helping put my kids through college, so it's beautiful. My last splurge was probably this watch. If you see it, it's probably, I spent way too much money on it, but it's really flashy. It makes me feel like a rapper. My last fashion faux pas was probably this watch. Just because, you know, fashion is, you're supposed to make a statement, but do it subtly, and there's nothing subtle about this watch.